Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again on this Hump Day, Wednesday. It's the day before the New Year's Eve. Wow, we've seen this year go by tremendously fast, which is good because I'll be honest with you, this has been the worst year of my life, and y'all don't even know the half of it. But I'm not gonna get into that. But anyway, um, today the Cowboys go back to practice to play the final game of the season. I feel like the season went by really fast in this COVID year, and I know a lot of people are glad that it's going to be over, but we get to see the playoffs after that. So we will find out this weekend. We will find out if the Cowboys will make it to the playoffs. Now, it's been a crazy year because you talk about the Cowboys had a 1% chance earlier in this season to make it to the playoffs. Now it's like 30 something percent, which it should be higher than that because it's kind of like it should be like 50-50 because clearly if Washington wins, clearly if Washington loses and we win, that means we go. So it would make sense mathematically that it'd be 50-50. But yeah, I don't know who made up that thing. But then again, if Washington loses and then we lose, then that means the Giants go to playoffs, and that'd be crazy too. So it's gonna be an interesting weekend. I think we play at 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 o'clock Central. So Washington doesn't play till nighttime. So we have to wait literally until the evening to know what our fate is as far as going to the playoffs. That's gonna be crazy. So what the Cowboys have to do is they have to go and win that game against the Giants and just do what they need to do. That's all they need to do, and just hopefully that Washington will lose against the Eagles. Now, I hear people say, "Oh, the Eagles don't have nothing to play for because they're eliminated." BS. Because one thing about division rivals, if there's any time that they can basically take your team and eliminate you, a team in the division, they're going to do that. They're going to try their hardest to try to eliminate Washington. After Washington had like 4 wins in a row and they were on a roll, and then Dwayne Haskins messed that all up. And then they ultimately released Dwayne Haskins last week. Now, you look at the Cowboys, they got back to practice today to get ready to play the Giants this weekend. Now, it's going to be interesting because Jason Garrett has a lot to play. Well, a lot to coach for in this game because it's going to be one of those things where, okay, Cowboys beat him first game being with the Giants. Now Jason Garrett has the opportunity, or what he thinks is the opportunity, to try to outsmart the Cowboys and try to beat the Cowboys as a play caller up there in New York. That will be a bittersweet thing for him, but we have to make sure that does not happen this week. We have to make sure that we go play like we did the last 3 weeks, and make sure that we do what we need to do. Get some pressure on Danny Dimes or Nichols or Pennies or whatever you want to call him this week. Get pressure on him and make sure that he doesn't do anything. Get that ball off. But again, like I said, if our defense plays stout and we get some effort from Randy Gregory and all these other guys and things of that nature, we should be good. We should be good on that standpoint. What else we got? Some injury. Some guys that didn't practice this week so far. Well, today, Leighton Vander Esch didn't practice. He's dealing with his injury. Then you got Darian Thompson. I forgot that he had a concussion in the game because I remember watching the game and the announcer was talking about, oh, he went out for a minute, but I actually forgot that Darian Thompson actually had a concussion in the game, so he's going through protocol right now. So they're trying to see how he is, to see if he's able to play in this game. Donovan Wilson, he has an illness. I don't know, maybe he's got a cold or something. Who knows? But I don't think it's COVID because they would have said something. So I think he just got a cold. It happens. And then, of course, Rashard Robinson, I think he had like a little knee issue. And then Xavier Woods ribs. It seemed like these guys get rib injuries. Like, stop, stop, stop. Tackle better, then you won't get your ribs hit. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Because, everybody's so down on Xavier Woods right now because clearly he has not made a play all year. But I do want to give an accolade out to our special teams ace, CJ Goodwin. CJ Goodwin been the leader of this team in special teams tackles. He was one of the reasons why we won the Atlanta game. With that watermelon kick that Zerline did, and he caught the ball and got a ball back for us. Now you look at this Dallas Cowboy team and what we've been able to do on special teams this year. I like what I see with John Fossil. Like I said, as long as he tones it down a little bit and makes sure that, whenever he's doing these little trickery things, they make sense. CJ Goodwin definitely needs to be re-signed. Some of you guys probably didn't know that they actually gave CJ Goodwin this week some defensive snaps. They used him primarily to spy on the young Jalen Hurts. Because if you notice, in the second half of that game, Jalen Hurts wasn't running around crazy like he was in the beginning of the game. So I guess I got to give credit to Mike Nolan on that. Mike Nolan came in there and he said, all right, we're going to use you, CJ Goodwin, basically as a spy. So they made him spy. They had him, basically chasing around Jalen Hurts. And when Jalen Hurts saw that CJ Goodwin was on him, he wasn't running as much, and he had to make sure that he stayed around in that pocket to try to score because he basically wasn't getting those yardages like he was earlier in the game. That's what you need to be doing as a defensive coordinator. I wish Mike Nolan would have been doing these things, earlier in the year, figuring this out. But you got to figure it out. And Mike Nolan also has to understand that we don't have a 3-4 team personnel. We have 4-3 guys. So if he's going to continue to be the defensive coordinator, he has to keep doing them as a 4-3. If he was a 3-4 guy, knowing we had 4-3 personnel, I don't understand why he was hired in the first place. That's just how I feel. But one thing that you don't do is try to change a personnel when you don't have those type of, guys to do that with. It's like putting a square in a circle peg. You can't do that. So that's just how I feel about that. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. But, it's crazy that the New Year's here. This is the last couple of days of the year. I'm glad for 2020 to be over. Hopefully 2021 can be better for us because COVID has definitely torn us apart this year. They tore us a new asshole this year, literally. And I'm telling you, like, it's crazy. A lot of people have died this year. I know a lot of you guys may have had it or had family members that had it, and it's just been crazy. Me personally, like I didn't have issues with it, but I didn't get it at all. But it messed me up in other ways. But it is what it is. Financially that is. But it is what it is. You live, you learn, and hopefully life gets better. But you got to keep pushing. You got to stay positive, and you got to move forward. This is why I stress all the time about our Dallas Cowboy family as a unit, that we stick by each other. And whenever you guys are going through stuff, we got to talk to each other and pray for each other, because that's what it's all about. I like to create that positive environment on this channel. That's what I love to do. But yeah, so those are the updates for Dallas Cowboys for their practice today. Hopefully we'll get some good news this week and see if Zach Martin could come back. If not, maybe if we win this game and Washington loses and we go to the playoffs, then we could get him for the playoffs and we get some horses back for the playoffs, and I think that'd be good. Now, this young offensive line has played better down the stretch because I think that they've been getting used to each other now. Because one thing I tell you about an offensive line, you got to keep these guys together, because what happens is when you start moving this guy, changing this guy out, this guy doesn't understand how this guy plays. So the communication between this guard and this tackle, or this guard and this center, they don't understand one another. So when one guy's going to block here, he's supposed to probably be helping here, but maybe he needs to be going over here. So if the line is pulling, you have to understand what direction that you're supposed to be going into, because that is important as an offensive line. That is one unit that it's not supposed to be interchangeable. Like, you got to try to keep those guys in there. I know that, if they get injuries, you can't do anything about that. You have to, move things around. And with that being said, the Cowboys did waive Jordan Mills, the offensive tackle. He's been on the practice squad the whole time. I don't understand why they didn't give him an opportunity, but I guess they feel that with this offensive line, these guys been gelling so far. So I guess Joe Philbin was like, we got to keep it together. So shout out to Joe Philbin for that, for getting these young guys up to snuff, and getting them ready to play week in and week out, and getting better and better every week, I should say. And especially in this last game, the offensive line held pretty good, and Andy Dalton was able to get that ball out. So with that being said, y'all, that's what I have for today. Hope you guys have I'll probably be doing another video before tomorrow, but have a happy new year, and hopefully in the new year this game will be a victory for Dallas Cowboys, and we can get some good luck rolling in here. So with that being said, it's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon.